Hello, lovely, and welcome to the Essence of Expression podcast. Get ready to explore insights, lessons, practices, and wisdom from life for life. I'm your host, Arejay, healer, teacher, student, and sage. I'm excited and honored to have you with me on this journey. Let's dive in. So, the Essence of Expression podcast has done 100 episodes, and I want to say thank you to those of you who listen and download and share. I appreciate you very much. I wanted to let you know what to expect moving forward. It will be making some changes, so I will be starting to add guests to the podcast as we continue throughout the year. And you can also probably expect some more guided exercises like the last week's episode. I just feel that there's a lot happening, a lot going on, and more people are going to need some extra support in staying grounded, in remembering to live in gratitude and stay I don't even know what the word is, but really just helping navigate through all the shifts and wonkiness that are happening now and things that are coming down the road. So I'll be adding some more of the guided exercises. It seemed that quite a few people liked that and it was helpful to them. So look forward to doing more of that. Also, I will be changing the cover art as soon as I get some recent photos. I'll be updating that, so I will let you know when that happens, but it's still going to be the same podcast, same name, everything like that. It's just going to be the cover art that's going to look a little different, and I don't want that to throw anybody off. So, tonight I really just want to be grateful for all of you who listen and be grateful to those that started me on this journey. Actually, this started out honestly as an experiment. I was speaking and doing micro podcasting. A friend of mine had gotten me into that when she had invited me to do hers, and we really loved those conversations, and that platform closed, and a lot of us kind of just stopped talking at that point. But what I had noticed was that a lot of the conversations that we were having, even just among the speakers, I would say something and it would be a very different perspective, or it would hit them in a different way where it would really just sink in and resonate, and they're like, oh. But for me, it was just normal, right? Because I'm just voicing my opinion and voicing my perspective and coming from my experience. And there were a lot of shifts that would happen, and there were a lot of lessons learned, and I would speak on things that people hadn't thought of before. And so I didn't want to stop that because I could clearly see that it was impactful in a good way, right? So I kept going. And this actually started as the experiment that I was just I wonder what would happen if I just talked every day. And that was the outset of this. When I first began this, I literally daily. And it wasn't long before I burned myself out on that. So I had to rethink how often do we do this? And it became weekly. And at some point I even thought are people listening? Do people even care? And I had stopped for a while to then come in contact with a wonderful woman. She and I were speaking at she was speaking at a conference, but we were having a conversation while we were at the conference. And she was just so energetic, and she actually produces podcasts and things like that. And she was like, oh my gosh, no, you absolutely have to start back. Because I was telling her, do I start back? Do I not start back? And I was thinking of just leaving it alone. So I almost didn't come back. And here we are now at, over 100 episodes. So grateful for those people that have helped me in this journey. Grateful for you, my listeners. And grateful to myself for even trusting that and being willing to go with this wild idea, right? And being willing to follow the breadcrumbs. And I share that because I am truly grateful, but I also share that as a lesson to you all, right? That if there is something that you can see that you're doing that is making an impact, right? And it's making a positive impact on people, and it's something that you enjoy, right? Continue doing that. I don't care if it looks crazy. I don't care if it looks stupid. I don't care if there are moments where you're like, does this even fucking matter? Because if you can help just one other person, it's worth it, right? You're probably going to help more than that. But even if it's just one, it's worth it. And really just continue to do it. Allow it to evolve and change, because it will. A lot of times it's going to end up looking different than what you had pictured it, right? And that's okay. But I do want to encourage you that if there is something and you can see the impact that you're having, follow those breadcrumbs, right? Follow that, experiment with that, play with that, see what happens if. And just be open and willing to explore and go down that path. So that's all I have to say tonight. Again, thank you guys so much. I still kind of can't believe it's been 100 episodes. Thank you for your time and attention. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show. If someone came to mind while you were listening to this episode, please take a moment to share it with them. If you're interested in joining a community and diving further into these topics, please visit theessenceofexpression.com/community and request to join our community group. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.